All right, time for this week's vlog. Filming indoors, a little bit of bad timing. The lawn care guys just came and fertilized the lawn, so I don't think walking around on the lawn in bare feet right after it's been fertilized is probably the best idea in life. So we're doing this indoors. Um, this week's topic is going to be on fasting, mainly the different types of fasting. I'm not going to get into the benefits of fasting or why you should fast. This is just going to be more of a discussion on the different ways you can fast. And there are a variety of different ways. The first thing I want to discuss is what kind of fast you're doing. When I first started the ketogenic lifestyle, I did engage in a fast, but it was kind of a modified fast. I didn't take in any food or I didn't eat solids, but I did want energy because I knew I'd be transitioning over. I didn't think going cold turkey was going to be the best approach for me. So I would have what's been referred to as bulletproof coffees. For those of you who don't know, a bulletproof coffee is a coffee uh, with butter, preferably grass-fed butter, and MCT oil mixed in. It's quite delicious if you haven't had it. It is very energy dense in the sense that you'll for compared to a normal cup of coffee, you're getting quite a bit of calories, but it is not a full meal by any stretch of the imagination. That did make my transition over. Now, I know a lot of people would argue that's not actually a fast because you're taking in calories, and they're right. In terms of a strict fast, it's not. So that brings me up to the next topic, a strict fast. In a strict fast, you're taking in no no calories, pretty much no calories. And why I say pretty much is during a strict fast, you can still get away with having, like, say, tea or water or coffee. They just need to be plain. Obviously, water is going to be plain, but you shouldn't be adding anything into it. Now, with water, of course, water is 0 calorie. Tea and coffee are not precisely 0 calorie. However, uh, for a full glass, even if you get like a big mug like I do, the calories are going to be substantially less than 10. Your body's not even going to know. And so when you look at the benefits of having the coffee and the tea in terms of boosting metabolism and helping you along with your fast, those outweigh those minor amount of calories that you're going to get. That would be a strict fast. And if you wanted to take it a step even further, there's what's referred to as a dry fast. And a dry fast is where you don't even take in water or any kind of liquids. You abstain from everything. Now, I did obviously my modified fast, as I told you, and I've done strict fasting before. As a matter of fact, I'm still in the middle of a strict fast. I got about another uh, hour to go, and I've been doing that for 47 hours. It'll be a 48-hour fast total when I get done. I have never tried a dry fast though. I'm just not interested, uh, and that's going to be the deciding factor for you as to what kind of fast you do. I would, however, recommend if you want the benefits, the true benefits of a fast, that you do a strict fast. If you're merely looking to transition over from a glucose-based diet to a ketogenic lifestyle or diet, then I don't see any problem with doing the kind of modified fast that I did because your fuel source, all that energy is coming from fat, so your body's having to learn faster to adapt. The MCT oil will also help you along the way in transitioning. So once you've decided what kind of fast you're going to do in terms of uh, modified, strict, or dry, then you look at how you're going to fast. And how you're going to fast is very important. There's a concept called intermittent fasting, and it's something I do regularly. And that's where you reduce your window of eating to a much smaller amount in the day. The most common one being the 16-8, and that is you go 16 hours without eating and you do all of your eating within an 8-hour window. Once you've gone to 16 hours, you've gone into a fasted state and you're getting some of the benefits of fasting. But because you're having 8 hours to eat each day, you're not depriving yourself. Your body never feels like it's deprived or it's missing out. You can, of course, vary the time. I've known people who do a 14-10, which is good. And if it allows you to stick to it, by all means, go with the 14-10 and work your way up. And I've seen it go all the way to people who do a 22 and 2. But most people, when they get to the 22 and 2 part, it's more often referred to as OMAD. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. It's a type of fasting where you just put all of your meal into a 1 or 2 hour eating window, and that's why it's referred to as 1 meal. You don't necessarily have to like eat it like I know most Americans when they sit down, 15 minutes later tops, the food's gone. We're not talking about that in 1 meal a day. We're talking about one very narrowed eating window, but you get all your calories in there. One of the benefits of OMAD over, say, the 16-8 window is that you can only put so much stuff in your belly before your stomach is like, hey, we're done, thank you. So it helps with not only fasting but keeping yourself a little calorie restricted because you like I said, your body will top off and tell you to stop eating. And if you're doing that, and then what you're eating is very ketogenic friendly, stays within the rules of the ketogenic lifestyle, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. Even though just in regular, if you're living a ketogenic lifestyle, you're getting a lot of the benefits of fasting, even though you're not fasting at all. This would just take it up a notch. And then the final kind of fasting is just straight out fasting. We're done eating and we're not going to eat for at least 24 hours. That takes time to build up to if you've not fasted before or you're not already keto adapted. But there are benefits to it that you won't get in the OMAD or the 16-8 intermittent fasting style. And that is your body at that point has become completely aware of the fact that it's not getting nourishment and has to do other things. One of the other things it'll do is autophagy. Autophagy is where the body looks around and says, what are we not using anymore? What is maybe broken or not functioning correctly? What can we scrap and break down into its constituent parts to feed us and to keep us going? And you won't get autophagy if you're doing intermittent fasting, but you will if you cross the 24-hour threshold on just straight out fasting. That's why I'm doing a 48-hour fast right now, and that is to get the benefits of autophagy. Now, one of the things that when you're losing a lot of weight on the ketogenic diet is if you're like me, when I started this on January 1st of 2018, I had 352 pounds on me. And I don't know what my absolute goal weight will be, but I set a 210-pound goal weight to get me in the ballpark of where I want to be. And then I'll start making decisions, fine tuning at that point. So, I mean, doing the math on that, that's obviously 142 pounds that I'm having to lose. I'm almost through the first 100 of it. As of this weigh-in on Monday, I've lost 97 pounds. Uh, your body had to create places to store the fat that accounted for all that weight. And one of the things it does is it just expands your skin and puts in more fat cells, or the fat cells just get bigger, and that's why you look bigger. And as you're losing the weight, your body doesn't just automatically get rid of those cells. So one of the things you do when you get into autophagy is, hey, your body says, hey, we don't need those cells anymore. We're losing fat. We're not storing fat. And so one of the things that it can help with, I wouldn't go so far as to say completely mediate, but can help with is the idea of loose skin. If you're putting yourself in a state of autophagy, doing a very strict long-term fast, you can be helping get rid of that excess skin. Again, it'll vary from person to person. I'm definitely not sitting there saying that if you just do every so often, like say once a month, a 2-day fast or a 3-day fast, however long you want to do it, that you won't, there's no chance you'll wind up with loose skin. I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but I will say that it will help to avoid the problem of loose skin or mitigate the loose skin issue. Plus, there's just if your body doesn't need the cells anymore because they're not functioning correctly, or they're extraneous now. Why wouldn't you want to help get rid of that and break it down into constituent parts and feed the rest of your body with that? So those are the kinds of fasts you can do. Uh, the intermittent fasting, OMAD, or just straight up fasting. Like I said, I'm on the 48-hour one. I'll be done here in about an hour, and I feel great. I just went out for a walk around the block. I'm not having energy issues. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I was already keto adapted before I started the fast, so that makes it definitely a lot easier and a lot better. But which one you do is up to you. You have to decide what you can handle. One strategy for getting into fasting, regardless of which one you're doing, is you start with intermittent fasting, but make it a much smaller window. Whereas you won't get a lot of the benefits of fasting until you break the 13-hour plane of fasting. Uh, if you're teaching yourself how to fast, obviously, if you're used to eating, the only time you exceed a couple of hours of not eating is when you're asleep. Uh, you want to build up over time if you're not ready or mentally prepared for that. If you can jump right in and just go and say, "Hey, I'm not eating today," good for you. But if you're like most, ease it in. If you usually take 2 hours between eating, go for three. You know, if you are somebody who balks at the idea of going 16 hours without food, but you think you can manage 12, go 12. One of the nice things about sleeping is that takes care of, probably 8 hours for you. So, 8 hours, skip breakfast, wait till lunch, but build up your tolerance for fasting over time. Again, like I said, if you can just get into it and uh, do it. I feel great when I fast. It's a wonderful practice. It helps clear you out. Um, yeah. So I think we covered the topic. If you have any questions, comments, please leave it down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you are interested in following me on my journey, if you're interested in following me on my journey, go ahead and subscribe and then click the notification bell down below. That'll let you know every time, excuse me, that'll let you know every time I've put a video up. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you're having a great week. I'm having a great week, and peace.